Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates for only like $5 a month. And speaking of the daily Discord updates, we just posted a bunch of them, and I mean they explain in detail what's going on in the market. So if you don't understand something in the videos, you can just come here and read everything, and there's a bunch of stuff that you can read. And I'm gonna talk about this soon, but first let's actually talk about what's happening in the market. I mean, I think a lot of people that are watching this right now are probably new to this channel because that's what usually happens when the market is going up. New people come to the channel, and that's okay. And well, if you are, not familiar with the Elliott wave chart right now, we are in a 1-2 setup, and it really looks like the third wave has started, but I don't really like this because, I mean, the third wave right now, yes, it could have started, but the second wave move down was not really deep enough. We only got to the 0.382 support level, and I told you this yesterday, but honestly I still think that Ethereum is gonna go lower. Now I know in this situation right now it is highly unlikely that it does because the market is going up, but please do not forget what can happen in crypto. I mean, it's crypto we are talking about. It could always drop lower, and I'm gonna talk about Ethereum as well. But first let's actually talk about Cardano and let's see what's going on with this chart. So I told you yesterday that this could actually turn into a much bigger ABC structure. That is no longer the case. I mean, the B wave right here would be way too high, so I think we're actually heading in the third wave, meaning that the next target right now is 86.9 cents. That's the 200% extension of the 1-2 setup, and well, right now there's going to be some resistance in this area between 73.5 cents or something and 84.3 cents, so we need to get above the green line on the bull market support band and then above the 200-day moving average, which is the blue line on the chart, and then of course the red line right here. And if we do that, it's obviously gonna be good. Now, if we actually want to confirm that this second wave right here is in and that the low is this right here, and we'll not get some kind of another low after this, we have to get 5 waves up, and these 5 waves up, well, right now we're working on them, and well, yeah, like I said, the third wave, I mean, the target for that is 86.9 cents. We'll see if we get that or not. Keep in mind, we are overbought on the 4-hour RSI, and the last time we have been this overbought was right here in the B wave. So if we do get rejected, it's going to be okay. And honestly, I mean, I know a lot of people in the comments have not really said anything about my Ethereum prediction that it will go to like $1,400 again to test the lows and to get to the oversold territory, but it turns out people do not really care about that. It turns out people only care about the market going up. And well, speaking of Ethereum, right now it's still not doing too great, honestly. Yes, it is at $1,800. However, to confirm that the low is actually in, I would like to see a break above this high right here. Well, actually it is a high, so above this high right here, which is at $2,100. Until we break this structure, this lower low structure, I'm not gonna say that the low is in because we could always, turn around and get another low. So I'm not gonna count on this until we actually get above this high. Now, if we get above this high, then yes, I was wrong, and yes, Ethereum will most likely not get another low after that. However, if we do not get there, and if we actually start going down right now, or after getting to like $2,000 and we do not manage to get above this high, then the structure could actually continue and we could even get another low after that. So please not get your hopes too high. Even on the 4-hour, we are currently overbought, so we could always get a correction. I mean, we have not been this overbought since in November of 2024, and as you can see right here, we did actually drop after that. So do not get your hopes too high, but also do not think that I'm, long-term bearish. I'm just bearish for this week because Ethereum still needs to get to the oversold territory on the weekly chart. It has been oversold 2 times in the past, and I mean, we are so close to getting to the oversold territory, we might as well do it. Now, I mean, if we get above the moving average on the weekly RSI, then the chances of us getting to the, oversold territory are going to decrease even further. But until we get to the moving average and until we get above it, I mean, even if we do get above it, we could always do something like this. We could get above it and then we could test it at support. And by the way, I think that's going to happen anyways. And then if we do not actually stay above it, we could always drop lower. So please do not get your hopes too high, at least not yet, because Ethereum still has a lot to prove. Now, of course, on the weekly chart, I mean, this right here actually looks like a low. It looks like the bottom is in, but I would not count on that, at least not yet. Now, of course, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, which is Bitcoin. And of course, I'm not surprised that it's going up because I literally told you this like a month ago. Let me actually look for the comment. I think right here. So here's what I'm thinking. Bitcoin bounces to $140,000 by the end of May. It then drops to $100,000, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm going to talk about this soon, but this is what matters. Bitcoin bounces to $140,000 by the end of May. Why did I say that? Well, I even posted a photo right here. As you can see, the weekly RSI got exactly where the weekly RSI got to in the previous corrections. And this led me to believe that, we could get some type of bounce. And right now, if you look at the chart, we did get that bounce. Of course, we did not get it right here. We actually got it after getting to the trend line again, but we still got a bounce. And the Bitcoin low is most likely in because we are already above the moving average on the weekly. However, that does not mean that we will go up in a straight line. Please do not forget what happened over here. After we got above the bull market support band, we had a week where we actually went down, and we went down from $66,000 all the way down to like $59,000. It might not seem like a lot, but I mean here, after getting above the moving average, we actually tested the moving average. So I think we're gonna do the exact same thing. Yes, we could go up, until like 100k or so, maybe 105k, but at some point we will test the moving average because that's what Bitcoin always does before actually getting these pumps right here and this pump right here. I mean, we even did it in this correction, as you can see, and we cannot really see it, properly on the weekly, but here, I mean, we got above the bull market support band, we got above the moving average on the weekly. If you actually zoom in, we tested the moving average. As you can see, we actually got below it for like 2 weeks. We got back above it, and that was the low. Well, actually, that confirmed that the low right here was in. So at some point, we will test the moving average and the bull market support band. However, I still think Bitcoin is able to get to $140,000 by the end of May. And I mean, I've had this on the chart for well, not many months, but many weeks. And I mean, this message that I sent was sent on March 23rd. So I mean, right now it's April, and I think it's April, like, let's say actually April 23rd. So this was exactly 1 month ago. And well, it makes sense because the RSI went to the exact same levels, and also I need to talk about this as well. On the weekly chart, each time we went to the RSI level of about 44, I mean, the first low was 25k, the second low was 50k, the third low was 75k, and right now I believe that after we go up in May, and actually by the end of the second week of June, the next low is gonna be 100k, and I still think that Bitcoin will get that summer drop that it always got in every single cycle so far. Here, for example, in 2013, Bitcoin dropped like 80% in the summer of the post-halving here. Here in 2017, if you zoom in, people often like to say that in 2017 we did not have the summer drop, but we did. If you look closer, I mean, right here, we dropped 39%. Of course, when you zoom out, it might not seem like a lot, but it was still a 39% drop, so please do not forget about that. And in the previous cycle, we also had a summer drop right here, and I think this was a 55% drop. So the summer drop happens every single cycle in the post-halving year, and I don't think this cycle is going to be any exception, which means that Bitcoin will most likely have to get to above $140,000 by the end of May, and then get to 100k during the summer, and then my prediction remains the exact same. I think by the end of the year, Bitcoin will still be at $255,000. That's my prediction. I'm sticking to it, and I've had that prediction since I think last year of like June or something, so I'm not changing my prediction. Now, speaking of Bitcoin, I know it's a Cardano video, but we have to talk about what Bitcoin is doing. It's finally above the bull market support band, and this is bullish. It's also above the 200-day moving average, but it's also overbought on the 4-hour chart, and it has actually not been this overbought since right here. And what do you know, when we were overbought right here, the prices were the exact same, and look at what happened after that. We had a short-term correction. We dropped from 93,000 all the way down to about 86,000. So yes, expect some type of correction, but don't expect it to be anything too crazy. And well, we'll see if that happens or not. Now, I also want to talk about Cardano in this Cardano video because it is a Cardano video. As you can see on the daily RSI, we are not overbought, which is good. And I think the price could continue going up. And if it does, we'll actually have a cross on the bull market support band, and the cross will happen way faster because of this pump. And this is actually what happened in the previous cycle when we were at the exact same point of the structure. So in the previous cycle we had a 1-2-1-2 setup. It was the exact same uptrend as this right here. Right now we also have a 1-2-1-2 setup, and here in the previous cycle, in order to get a faster cross on the bull market support band, Cardano actually broke above the bull market support band while the red line was still above the green line, and this does not usually happen with Cardano. So if we do something like this again, we could get a faster cross on the bull market support band. And if you are not aware of what happens when we get a cross on the bull market support band, I mean, I can show you I think like a couple of examples. So here, for example, after the green line went above the red line, that actually confirmed that the low was in. This was the bear market low, and after that we went up from 24 cents all the way to about 80 cents. And here's another example. I was actually making videos back here when Cardano was at like 30 or actually 27 cents, and I was telling you that this is most likely a good time to buy because we were in the support zone. Cardano did react to the support zone, and we also had a cross on the bull market support band. So right now what we're waiting for is another cross. I mean, as you can see here, after a cross we went up from, let's say, 27 cents all the way up to like $1.30. So I think Cardano is very close to finally starting the main third wave of this 1-2 setup. The target for that, I mean the minimum target, is the 200% extension of the 1-2 setup. That's at $2.98. However, if you look at what happened in the previous cycle, the third wave of this 1-2 setup on the chart actually got to the 1.618 extension of the previous all-time high, and in this cycle, if we do the exact same thing, that could actually put us above $5.30. Is that going to happen? I have no idea, but you have to keep in mind this 1-2 setup is extremely impulsive, and well, the third wave of the third wave is gonna have to be even more impulsive than this, meaning that the third wave of the third wave could actually break above the previous all-time high very easily. I mean, that's exactly what happened in the previous cycle. The third wave of the main third wave got exactly above the 100% extension of the previous all-time high, and then we had a correction, and then we still went up after that. So maybe we're just doing what we did in the previous cycle. I mean, so far it's the exact same pattern, and I've been talking about this pattern for many months now, and people of course did not believe me when I told them that Cardano will do just fine in the long term, and I still think that Cardano has the chance to top somewhere between $5 to $8 by the end of the cycle. Of course, that's not financial advice, but I mean, the chart looks extremely good, and there's a reason I'm making Cardano videos every single day. It's because I really like the chart, and I think it has a lot of potential, but you just need a little bit of patience. And honestly, I mean, if you look at the YouTube comments, channel on the Discord server, I mean, you will see something like this: ADA will be like 30 cents by mid-July, mark my words, or stuff like this: your May prediction is not happening, just when I thought there might be someone who talks sense. Good try, bro, but yeah, no one on YouTube knows everything. Got to unsub, I'm afraid, blah blah blah. So basically people are bearish, but I don't think they are gonna be bearish for too long, and I think these people that I keep posting in this channel are probably going to lose a lot of money in the next couple of months because they are going to be buying Cardano when it's going up instead of buying it when it's actually in the support zone like it is right now. For example, I mean, we did react to the 0.618 support level many times, well actually 2 times, and I called this double bottom, I think right here or somewhere. So the double bottom was always a scenario, and I always called it, and what you know, it happened. So is that a coincidence? Is it a coincidence that we got to the 0.618 support level 2 times already? And by the way, this is the golden ratio level, which is the most important support level. Is that a coincidence? Well, maybe it is, but then again, maybe it's not, and maybe Cardano is about to break its previous all-time highs in the next couple of weeks, and maybe people are actually not prepared for that. But please do not forget that before we do that, Ethereum, if it does not get above $2,000, could always go lower, and it could get to the oversold territory on the weekly before actually getting a big move to the upside. Now, I also want to talk about the weekly chart on the Cardano chart, because this is also important. I have no idea why this is on the chart. Like, then actually remove this. So right now, what you need to know is that Cardano is exactly at the moving average on the weekly, and we have been rejected here in the past past, I've also been talking about this for many weeks. I told you that at some point Cardano will get to the moving average on the weekly, and right now what we need to do is get above it and break above it. I mean, if we actually get rejected, something like this could happen again here. We actually got back above it, and as you can see, we got rejected, and then we had a big correction which led to another low. So this is obviously not something that we want to see. We want to see a break above it. However, if we do get rejected, hopefully it's not going to be a big rejection, because if it is, it's not going to be too good. And do not forget, here in the past, when we had this, structure, we actually tried getting above it multiple times. And yes, we did get rejected a bunch of times. And yes, Cardano was, just going sideways for months. But at some point, after getting above it, we still tested it right here. And then that gave us this nice pump. So this is exactly what we need to do right now. We need to get back above it. We need to test it, use it as support, and then get this big bounce. And that will start the third wave of the third wave. And that will most likely put us at new all-time highs, at least in my opinion. So that's my prediction. That has always been my prediction. I hope you enjoyed. Of course, I have not said anything that there is to know about Cardano, because there's a lot to know about this chart and about the other charts as well. So if you actually want to know what's happening in the market, make sure to like and subscribe, because I try talking about different stuff every single day. So yeah, check out the memberships as well. For like $5 a month, you can get access to a bunch of stuff, even these funny comments, and the market updates that I always post when the market is actually doing something. So yeah, that's all I have. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.